Chopping it up with Ramel. Chopping it up with Ramel. Chopping it up with Ramel. Notes straight from the throat. Chopping it up with Ramel. Chopping it up with Ramel. Chopping it up with Ramel. Notes straight from the throat.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome to another edition of Chopping It Up with Ramel. No notes, straight from the throat. Hey, listen, I want to appreciate you guys tuning in this afternoon. Got a lot to cover. Of course, we're going to cover the NBA playoffs. We're going to talk a little baseball and definitely get excited about the draft tonight. But I'm going with a different direction today. I'm starting something new, I should say. All right, I'm trying something new. Listen, I want you guys to be part of the show. So I have a phone number you can call in. The number is 678-681-1526. Once again, I want you to be part of the show. The number is 678-681-1526. Call in, ask a question or two, make room for the next person. I want to hear from you. You've been hearing from me. I want to hear from you. I'm talking basketball. I'm talking baseball. I'm talking the NFL draft. Whatever's on your mind, I want to hear from you. Again, be part of Chopping It Up with Ramel. Give me a call. Tell me what's on your mind, and I'll do my best to get to answer your question or address your question. So feel free, please, call in. The number once again, 678-681-1526. The number is going to change every week, but today the number is 678-681-1526. Let's get started. We're going to start off and kick off with the NBA playoffs. Last night, the Atlanta Hawks, after a 2-game winning streak in this series, take their act down to the nation's capital to face the Wizards. And what a much-needed win it was for the Wizards. If they had gone down in this game to 3-2 and having to come back to Atlanta, I'm not sure how that would have went. But Washington Wizards, to their credit, went home and handled their business. Of course, they was led by their dynamic backcourt. I'm on record saying from an all-around standpoint, from defense, offense, and whatnot, I actually believe that the Wizards backcourt is the best backcourt in the game. I know the sexiest pick is the Golden State Warriors backcourt with Clay and Curry. And it's hard to argue that. They're very dynamic. But I think collectively, Wall and Bill, they give you the points, they give you the assists, and they give you better defense. However, with that said, Wall, he had 20 points, 11 assists, and Bradley Beal did not disappoint. He had 27 points. Now, Otto Porter, he shined in this game. Normally, they was getting a lot of contribution for Morris, but Otto Porter, he stepped up. He had 17 points. The bench outscored Atlanta's bench 26-19. But again, this was a much needed win for the Wizards because they hadn't shown that they can win in Atlanta in this series. And had Atlanta came down to the nation's capital, or came up to the nation's capital, I should say, and secured that win, it would have been tough for Washington to come back from that. So good win for them. I thought it was well coached, well played. Atlanta, Dennis Schroeder is definitely having a coming out party. He is playing some good ball in this series. Again, he led all scorers with 29 points last night. I believe he also had 11 assists. So he is stepping up to the occasion. Dennis Schroeder is really playing ball. He's matching the intensity of John Wall. There was one game he had foul trouble, but again, in that last game in Atlanta when he had the foul trouble and he sat out for most of the first half, or the majority of the first half, I should say, he was fresh down the stretch going into the final quarter, and it paid off for Atlanta because as he was fresh, he kind of outplayed Wall during that stretch. But Schroeder has been a bright spot. Millsap came alive in yesterday's contest with 21 points and 11 rebounds. I'm still not high on Coach Bud on how he's utilizing Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard, again, he had double digits in rebound. He only had 5 points. But here's the number for me that bothers me. And that's he's only had 28 minutes on the court. I really believe for Atlanta to win in these playoff games and for Atlanta to have some success, Dwight Howard has to be on the court. He has to, there's no doubt in my mind, he has to be on the court. And in order for him to be a factor, yes, he has to be on the court. And here's the thing, whether he's scoring or not, his presence on the defensive end, around the rim, not allowing easy layups, not only that, his rebounding prowess. Hey, that's part of the reason why you signed him to this $24 million a year contract. I mean, if you're going to just give away $24 million, let me give you my bank account. This is why you have him on the roster. Not so much to go down there and do a Wilt Chamberlain impersonation or a Shaquille O'Neal impersonation, but to go down there, be a defender, be a rebounder, and be a shot rearranger. And that's not going to cut it if he's only playing 28 minutes. Dwight Howard has to be on the court, in my estimation, for at least 35 minutes. You say, well, what's 7 minutes? 7 minutes can make a difference. 7 minutes can make a difference. And the way John Wall likes to go to the basket, I mean, if you got Dwight Howard there, he may think twice. Yeah, I'm not saying you use Dwight Howard for offense. But if he's on the court, he will give you double-digit points. 28 minutes is just not enough. Coach Bud is going to have to find more time for Dwight Howard on the court. Notice the games that they win, he plays. He plays. So good win for Washington. If you're just tuning in, listen, I'm doing something new this week. I want to hear from you. Give me a call, 678-681-1526. We're talking NBA. We're talking baseball. We're talking NFL draft. We can talk whatever's on your mind. If I have some insight on it, I'll speak on it. Once again, the number is 678-681-1526. So quality win for Washington. This series will resume, I believe, tomorrow night down here in my backyard. And Atlanta, I'm sure Atlanta will be up to it. I look for Washington to go ahead and don't play around and close this out. There's no need to have a game 7. Go ahead and close this out. That's what I think right there. The 4-5 matchups is always usually some of the best matchups. Let's go to the other series. Boston Celtics. They regained home court. As they went down, those who've been following, and maybe it had something to do with the emotions that was running around, emotions that was filled by the team or surrounding the team with the loss of Isaiah Thomas's sister. First 2 games, Chicago went into Boston and they won those 2 games. In fact, in doing so, Chicago looked like the better team. There were people calling up on sports radio shows, especially the basketball show that I tune into, and I was one of them that felt like those 2 losses was on Danny Ainge for not making a move at the break to try to acquire a second star to go along with Isaiah Thomas. Those who follow me, I always use this analogy. Go back to the TV series, Batman. You have Batman, he was first. You had Robin, he was second. Then it was Batgirl, Commissioner Gordon, Alfred, and Chief O'Hara. Isaiah Thomas is Boston's Batman. But is Isaiah Thomas really a Batman? Is he a Robin masquerading as a Batman? But nevertheless, whether he is or he isn't, he is their team's Batman. But who's their Robin? Better yet, who's their Batgirl? Yeah, Horford is being paid like a Batman. Definitely getting paid like a Robin. But is he a Robin? Is Avery Bradley a Robin? It's almost like you have a Robin masquerading as a Batman, and you have a bunch of Commissioner Gordons. and Alfreds. Yeah, Jay Crowder, Alfred. Marcus Smart, Alfred. Avery Bradley, Commissioner Gordon. Horford, is he really a Robin? Is he? So, those first two losses, I was jumping on Danny Ainge for not trying to pull the trigger to acquire a Paul George or a Jimmy Butler. A much-needed second option to go along with Isaiah Thomas. So Chicago clearly looked like the better team in the first two games in Boston's building. If you're just tuning in, you can reach me, call up, be part of the show, 678-681-1526. But as things went back to Chicago, maybe they needed to get away. Maybe Isaiah needed to go see his family. Maybe the news coming down that Rondo is out indefinitely. Maybe that's the break that they needed. Hey sis, how you doing? Maybe that's the break that they needed to help turn this series around or make it a series. Because Boston was heading to Chicago and they looked like they were on the verge of being swept. But kudos to Boston. They seemed to regroup, collect themselves, maybe show why they're the number one seed in the East. As many thought they were a number 2 seed, number 3 seed, masquerading as a number 1 seed. But nevertheless, they were the number 1 seed. And they have turned this series around. To the point whereas without Rondo, Chicago looks almost helpless. Helpless. You're going to get maximum effort from D-Wade. You're going to get maximum effort from Butler. But this is a team that definitely leads leadership from the point guard position. You know, I'm old school. Your big man and your shooters are only going to be as good as your point guard. It's only going to be as good as your point guard. Because they're the ones that get you the ball, right spot, right timing, that sort of thing. Put you in a position where you can catch and shoot. Maybe free you up for an open shot by a little penetration to the paint. Defense collapse. A pass here, another pass. The point guard gets the hockey assist. But it just leads to a man being in a position where he can shoot an open shot. Without that person in Rondo, a player in Rondo, Chicago looks helpless. They're going on sheer talent, and sometimes they're out of control. And Boston has regrouped, collected themselves. Coach Stevens, Brad Stevens, has made one adjustment, and it should have been made a long time ago. He decided to sit Amir Johnson. I think Amir Johnson brings nothing to the table. Maybe he could be helpful in coming off the bench in a role, but he brings nothing to the table. As you can see, he has not played much in these last 3 games, and he's not missed at all. But Boston has capitalized on the momentum, seized the opportunity to play this team without Rondo there, or without a true point guard or a seasoned point guard that can distribute and lead this team. And as a result of it, they have taken a 3-game run, and now they're looking like on the verge of closing this out in their very next contest. I don't see Chicago winning another game. I see Boston advancing and getting ready for the 4-5 matchup, which I think will be Washington. And that should be a good game there. That should be a good series right there. These two teams don't like each other. It looks like that's going to be a good series. Got a little activity on my phone. Let me see what's going on here. almost sounds like someone's trying to call in and they're having a little difficulty. Okay. So, again, Boston takes a 3-2 lead. If you're just tuning in, I'd love to hear from you. You can call me up, 678-681-1526. Boston used the balanced attack last night from their starting five. You're not going to see this too often. But you had Isaiah with 24 points, Avery Bradley with 24 points, and Horford had 21, 9 assists, and 7 rebounds. Unbelievable. Kelly Olynyk came off the bench for 14 points. Unbelievable. A nice balanced attack by Boston, and they get the win. Down the stretch when it mattered most, you saw that Chicago missed a point guard that season. Even D. Wade, the great D. Wade, the future Hall of Famer, in my eyes, possibly the third best two guard that I seen play. I didn't get a chance to see Jerry West. I didn't. I saw Jordan. I saw Kobe. I saw Clyde Drexler. I saw Reggie Miller. I'm going to have to put D. Wade above those two. I think Flash, he's been derailed by some injuries. And I know some of you might say, well, where do you put Earl Monroe and Frazier and Iverson, players like that? You know, those players are hard to place anywhere. And those are great players. They're top 50 for me, easily. They're almost in a category of themselves. Because they played point guard, they played two guard. I don't know where you put them. It's almost like you just make a separate category for them. But nevertheless, D. Wade is a special talent. And even he had some turnovers and some crucial moments last night. And, you know, D. Wade has never been a point guard facilitator on his team. Yeah, he's been in positions where he's had the ball period of time. And a lot of times that happened when he was Flash, the young D. Wade. But at this point in his career, he kind of needs someone to feed him as well. Put him in a position where he could come off screens or whatever the case might be. I just don't think you really want him leading the way, although he had good numbers last night. But you got to get you need Rondo there personally. You know, Isaiah Cannon, he came in, give a little bit of a boost from a scoring point, but he's not a distributing point guard type player. So he's not the answer. Jerry and Grant is not ready. Michael Carter Williams, once upon a time, looked like he was destined for greatness. It looked like he just fell out of favor over there. So I don't know if this is a coaching issue with Fred Hoiberg by not trusting certain players. But right now, Chicago, they're looking like they're going to be eliminated at home. Without Rondo, they don't have a chance. If you're just tuning in, I'm trying something new this week. You can call in, be part of the show. The number is 678-681-1526. Call in. I love to hear from you. But yeah, so I don't know how this is going to work out for Chicago going further. There was reports that Rondo was working out, but I don't see him coming back. They need him. They want to try to advance in this series, advance in this playoffs. They're going to need him. Otherwise, they're going home in Game 6 on their home court. But kudos to Brad Stevens in Boston by season home court, taking over momentum, winning 3 in a row, and now have a 3-2 lead in this series, and looking to close it out tomorrow night in Chicago. I don't see it going 7. I don't see the Atlanta-Toronto series going 7, nor do I see this one going 7. And speaking of closing out, I think that's just what's going to happen tonight. When Toronto goes in and face the Young Bucks out in Milwaukee, I look for them to close it out. The Milwaukee Bucks, again, you heard me say it, should have no shame in the game. It's just that it's not their time right now. They just need to get a little seasoned, It's the same thing. Crawl before you walk. And, here's the thing. I tell guys on my job all the time. Because, we live in the age of instant. Everything is right now. It's beyond microwavable. With microwave, you wait 2-3 minutes before it's ready. They want it right now. They want the person to receive it as soon as they hit send. No delay. Okay? And I tell these guys on the job, especially the young people coming on, every successful person in this world, owners of Fortune 500 companies, CEOs, Oprah, you name it, they all had something in common with us. They had a first day on the job. They had a first week on the job. They had a first month, first year. You got to let it work up to it. It just doesn't happen just like that. It doesn't. And you can apply that. We can apply that with sports. It just doesn't happen right away. But we want instant. Same thing with Usain Bolt. Fastest man in the world. But he all has something common with us too. He once crawled. Hey, so in the case with Milwaukee, it's going to take time. Hey, what's going on, Fred? Yeah, I got the Met hat on today. Fred, my brother right there. Long-time Met fan. Hey, call up. Number 678-681-1526. Love to hear from you. Once again, 678-681-1526. As I was saying, in the case with Milwaukee, you're a young team. You just have to crawl before you can walk, run, and leap. But you'll get there. You will get there. I really believe in the next 2 years, we're talking about Giannis being a top 5 player in this game, if not the best player in the game. Malcolm Brogdon, the rookie point guard, he's going to be a top 10 point guard in this game. Eddie Ness, what the Jets should do in the draft. If you've been following me, and I'll get to it. Call me up, 678-681-1526. I'd like to hear from you. Malcolm Brogdon could be the next Mike Conley Jr. He looks like a person who can lead this team, score when he needs to. Oh yeah, by the way, for all those like myself thought that Mike Conley Jr. is overpaid. Yeah, I agree, he is. But he's showing why he should be paid. He's showing why he should be paid. He is showing why. He is leading this Memphis team to 2 games against the Spurs. I thought it would be a sweep. He showed me otherwise. But Malcolm Brogdon can be that floor general. Milwaukee, just crawl. You'll be there. Take baby steps. It just can't happen overnight. Not everything is Instagram or email or text. Sometimes a meal is still good if you put it on a slow simmer. You don't always have to put it in the broth or in the microwave. Man, you into some homes, you still got some elderly women in there that seem like they take all day to cook a dinner. Might get up at 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, and it seems like they're cooking from the time they wake up until the time you eat around 4:30, 5 o'clock. And I tell you what, when you finish eating that, you're walking away with one of the best meals you had in your life. Sometimes it takes some time. And you Milwaukee fans, you got reasons to be happy. It's bright there. Just let the process play out. Not the process in Philadelphia, but let the process play out. And hope that Jason Kidd is the right guy for the job. Hey, if you're just tuning in, give me a call. 678-681-1526. Love to hear from you. Be part of the show. Just chopping it up with Ramel. So Toronto, I look for them to close it out in Milwaukee. I look for San Antonio to go into Memphis. Just close it out. Get it over with. Stop fooling around. Get it over with. I was going to jump into baseball real quick. Looking at the power rankings, the Yankees have moved up 5 spots from 10 to 5, and the Mets has dropped from 4 to 12, 8 spots. Question, are the Yankees for real, or are the Mets pretenders or contenders? I'm going to tell you something. I think that the Yankees is going to stick around. I don't know if they'll be a playoff team, but I don't think they're going to go away. I'm looking at this kid, Aaron Judge. I think he's going to be the next star in New York. I think he's going to be that long-term player. He could be your next Derek Jeter. Right now, he's tied for the league in home runs in the American League with 7. He's in the top 15 in RBIs with 15. He's batting .281. He's just getting his feet wet. The Yankees are in second place. He's got a lot to do with it, along with some other players, but he's got a lot to do with it. These Yankees is going to stick around. CC Sebastian, if he doesn't run out of gas towards the end of the season, he looked like he's back to Cy Young form. The Yankees, just as the Mets look like they might be the talk of the town and they did not seize the moment, the Yankees have resurfaced with a vengeance. And it looks like they're going to stick around. They could be the thorn in the side to every team in the American League that's looking to make the postseason. The Yankees, keep in mind, when you put on a Yankee uniform, you're putting on tradition. There's no better franchise in all of sports in America than the New York Yankees. If we go to the Hall of Fame up in Cooperstown, the majority of those heads up there is going to be Yankee heads. Those statues are going to be Yankee statues. They have a rich history. They have a rich tradition. Their tradition is winning. And they've done it with all costs at all times. Whether they had to spend money, make some trades, some bold moves, they will do it. And it looks like they're letting some of this farm system work out as well. And mark my words, I believe Aaron Judge will be a star. And as for my New York Mets, right now, they're hit with the injury bug. But also, part of their problem is they did not address anything over the winter as far as getting a big bat in the lineup. And they need a bat. They need a leadoff hitter. I think Jose Reyes is done. He gave us a little excitement last year, helped propel us to the playoffs. But I think he's done. I think David Wright's done. I think Lucas Duda's done. Get them all out of uniform. If you got these young boys up in the minor leagues, there's 2 of them. I can't think of the names. The first baseman, he's batting over 300, and the shortstop, I think the shortstop name is Rosario. But nevertheless, they're both hitting over 300. Get them up. Get them up. There's those 3 players I named. Jose Reyes is batting 114. 114. That is abysmal. They got an afternoon game today. I think they have a day-night doubleheader with the Braves as a makeup game. Listen, this one here, Jose Reyes, 114. No. David Wright, put him as a captain, coach, on the bench. Sure, Duda, get him out of here. Let's bring up some new blood. Look what we did with James Loney last year. He played for Duda. Just play solid defense, timely hit here and there. We're not going to miss Duda. Bring up the youngster at first base, and let's see what he can do. We have nothing to lose. Right now, we're looking like pretenders when we should be contenders. That's the bottom line. The Mets are looking like pretenders. They're doing the Mets a favor at 8-11, keeping them at number 12. Right now, they look sorry. Eddie Ness said, what should the Jets do in the draft? There's only one player out there that the Jets should go out and get, and they need to stop fooling around. Hey, tune in, call me up, 678-681-1526. There's only one player out in the draft that makes sense for the Jets, and that's Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson is the player in the draft for the Jets. It's the only player that if it turns out to be a bust, the fans will understand because of his success in college. I'm down here in the SEC country, guys. They say the SEC is the cream of the cream. They say that that's the NFL junior. Alabama, some people think they can beat the Cleveland Browns. But I know who did beat the Alabama, and I know who shredded their defense 2 years in a row for over 400 yards in the biggest stage. On the biggest stage. That's Deshaun Watson. This January and last January. In the national title game. The Super Bowl for college football. In a losing effort, he threw for over 400 yards. Comes back the following year, which was this January, 3 months ago. Threw for 400 plus to get the win. And we're talking about on the top defense in all of college football. The mighty Alabama, Crimson Tide, Roll Tide, that may have 3 defensive players drafted by the first 15 picks. You got the safety, I can't think of his name. You got Reuben Foster, the inside linebacker, and then you got Jonathan Allen on the line. Speaking to my buddy Sean, he referred to Reuben Foster as the next Ray Lewis. Why is Deshaun Watson not being considered the first quarterback off the board? And all he's done was win the ACC twice, going to the national championship game twice, and yet Mitch Trubisky, I don't know what his game is like, and I'm not knocking his game. He played for North Carolina in the ACC, and we don't recall what special moment he's had. Yet he's in the same conference as Deshaun Watson, who's won that conference 2 years in a row and went to 2 national title games back to back. So the New York Jets do not have a quarterback. It's not like Namath is suiting up. It makes sense to draft Deshaun Watson. By 9:15 tonight, Deshaun Watson should have on a Jets uniform. Taking pictures with, by the way, with one of these. Deshaun Jackson should have on one of these tonight around 9:15. Eddie Ness, if you're out there, should the Jets draft Deshaun Watson? Now, this talk about trades of that pick. Okay, fine. If you can convince me that Cleveland Browns are worried that you're going to select Mitchell Trubisky with your number 6 pick, and they want him, and you can trade down to 12 and still get Deshaun Watson and maybe pick up a second round pick, then I'm all for it. Because let's face it, the Jets have holes that they need to fill. They have to fill the secondary. I agree with that. But this is a deep draft for defensive players, especially in the defensive backfield. So you can get good value in the second round, third round with corners and safety. But listen, unless you knew for sure, number 6 pick gotta be Deshaun Watson. Don't pick O.J. Howard. I love him. I think he's great. But what good is a tight end that could be an all-star for the rest of his career if you ain't got nobody to throw the ball to? And again, the last time we picked a high-profile first-round pick coming out of college was Keyshawn Johnson. And after about 2 years, they became a perennial playoff team, a good football team. Yeah, I mean, we brought over Curtis Martin, and I believe we had Vinny Testaverde, but it started with Keyshawn Johnson. And then when we let him go, he wins a Super Bowl with Tampa Bay. My point is this, guys. There's a reason why these guys are successful in college. Because they're good. They're good. And in the case of Deshaun Watson, he may be great. And I can't help but to think about what his coach said. Passing on Deshaun Watson is like passing on Michael Jordan. Wouldn't Houston like to have that pick again? Not Houston, Portland. Wouldn't Portland like to have that pick again? They took Sam Bowie over Michael Jordan. They could have had Jordan and Drexler on the same team. Just want you to think about that for a sec. Because Drexler might be top 5 two-guard that I've seen play the game. So, Jordan and Drexler. Drexler could have easily moved to the 3. So, New York, do you want to be the Portland Trailblazers who passed up on Michael Jordan by passing up on Deshaun Watson? Don't be that team. Don't be that team. I tell you, I speak for many fans. If Deshaun Watson is a bust, we don't blame you for picking him. He's the right choice. If you're just tuning in, give me a call, 678-681-1526. Once again, 678-681-1526. Don't be that team, New York. Go out and get Deshaun Watson. If he's on the board, go out and get Deshaun Watson. He makes sense. He makes sense. If I'm the New York Giants, if O.J. Howard is on the board, grab him. Grab him. He will solidify your offense. Your passing game will be tremendous. You got Beckham. Is it Shepard? I can't think of the other wide receiver. You got Brandon Marshall. You put O.J. Howard there. You could have some of the best set of hands on offense in the league. Go and get him. The Giants, O.J. Howard. That's the player for you. If you're a Cowboy fan and Reuben Foster's on the board from 16 to 20, you need to trade up and get him. You need the best defensive player available. Trade up and get him. This guy's a stud. He's a stud. Trade up and get him. He's a stud. Carolina. If you're out there, Carolina fans, if Leonard Fournette is on the board, go get him. Go get him. If he's not there, consider Cam Robinson an offensive tackle, offensive lineman from Alabama. Because Cam Newton needs some help. I don't know if this is Cam Newton being too cute trying to run or this and that, but he's been getting hit lately. You need to protect him. I say for that first, but possibly Cam Robinson. For my Eagles, those who know me, I'm a Jet fan first, Eagle fan second. We did a good job getting some wide receivers in the offseason, but if Cam Robinson is on the board, you got to shore up that offense. Sure, we can use anybody on defense. You can never have enough defenders. But an offensive lineman has got to be addressed as well. Cam Robinson, I believe, is the best on the board out of Alabama. Go ahead and get it. By the way, Alabama's probably going to have 6 players taken in the first round. They'll be challenged by Ohio State. They may have 4 or 5 themselves. But I believe tonight you'll see 6 Alabama taken in the first round. So that's going to do it for tonight. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it tonight. I'm going to watch the draft for sure. I'm definitely going to tune in and watch these playoff games. I think it's elimination night in Milwaukee for Milwaukee and Memphis for Memphis. I think those teams will be eliminated tonight. This series will be wrapped up. But yes, the draft is on. The games is on. Should be a good night for sports. And I just want to shout out my sister for tuning in. Love you. To my buddy, my little brother Fred. Much love for you. Thanks for tuning in. To one of my longest friends, Eddie Ness. Much love to you as well. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully maybe next week get around and get some calls. I think I sprung this on everybody. But going forward, anytime that I go live, as I am now, I'm going to have a new phone number every week for you guys to call up and express what's on your mind, and hopefully I can get to it as well. In the meantime, y'all have a blessed day, and I'll see y'all. I'll talk to y'all soon. Chop it up soon. Peace and blessings. Remember, you can follow me on YouTube at Troy Ramel Royal. Just search it. And you can also follow me on my Facebook page, facebook.com, Chopping It Up with Ramel. And y'all be blessed. Appreciate y'all.